What if every argument, every awkward silence, every everyday standoff wasn't a battle, but a game? Not a game of ego, not a game of dominance, a game of strategy. Welcome to the world where grocery store lines, office politics, family debates, and relationship tensions are governed by the same logic that shapes global diplomacy and billion-dollar negotiations. Nash equilibrium. Here, emotions don't control the board, incentives do. In this channel, we decode daily life through the lens of game theory. We stop reacting and start calculating. We shift from impulsive moves to strategic positioning. Every conflict becomes a decision tree. Every interaction becomes a payoff matrix. Every outcome becomes predictable. Because when you understand what the other player wants, you stop fighting and start winning together. This isn't self-help. This is applied strategy. Welcome to the game beneath reality. Welcome to Learn Express, where we blend cutting-edge science with practical wisdom to transform your everyday decisions. Today, in using game theory strategies to improve your daily negotiation outcomes effectively, we're going to turn negotiations from stressful tug-of-wars into strategic masterclasses. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to anticipate others' moves, align incentives, and maximize wins, whether it's a salary negotiation, splitting chores, or deciding where to eat tonight. First, let's lay the foundation. Game theory is the science of strategic decision-making. It studies situations where the outcome depends not just on your choices, but also on the choices of others, each pursuing their own goals. Originally pioneered by mathematicians like John von Neumann and later revolutionized by John Nash, game theory has been applied everywhere: economics, politics, biology, and even online strategy games. In negotiations, game theory changes the game. Instead of thinking, "I must win at all costs," it teaches you to understand incentives, anticipate reactions, and predict behavior. This approach creates opportunities for mutually beneficial outcomes, where both sides feel like winners, and where strategy replaces stress. At the heart of strategic negotiation lies the Nash equilibrium. This is a stable state where no player can improve their outcome by changing their strategy alone, assuming everyone else keeps theirs the same. Think of it like traffic during rush hour. Everyone stays in their lane, no one gains by switching. But the result isn't optimal, it's just predictable and rational. In negotiations, aiming for a Nash equilibrium doesn't guarantee the perfect outcome. It prevents deadlocks and helps both sides find cooperative, stable solutions that avoid unnecessary conflict. A classic illustration comes from the prisoner's dilemma. Two suspects face a choice: cooperate by staying silent for a light sentence, or defect by betraying the other for a chance at freedom. Rational analysis predicts both will defect. This is the Nash equilibrium, even though both would benefit more from cooperating. Now let's bring these ideas into real life. Take a salary negotiation, for instance. You hesitate to ask for a fair raise, fearing rejection. Your manager, wary of overpaying, offers less than you deserve. Both of you stick to conservative strategies, and the result? A suboptimal outcome. Neither party gets the value they could. Recognizing the Nash equilibrium helps you reframe the negotiation. By understanding what strategies are stable and which are limiting, you can adjust your approach, communicate clearly, and structure incentives that guide both sides toward a mutually beneficial deal. Research shows that negotiators who explicitly map incentives and predict counteroffers achieve higher satisfaction and longer-lasting agreements. Everyday life is full of similar scenarios. household chores. If both partners avoid responsibility, clutter, frustration build, classic bad equilibrium. But agreeing on clear division and cooperation creates harmony. Traffic merging. Aggressive, selfish driving creates jams. Courteous, cooperative behavior allows smoother flow, a real-time demonstration of collective strategy. Group projects. Everyone assumes others will pick up the slack. Minimal effort becomes the default Nash, often resulting in failure. Proactive coordination, however, shifts the equilibrium toward shared success. The magic of game theory is that it teaches strategies to foster win-win outcomes, even in repeated interactions. Tit for tat. Start cooperative, then mirror your counterpart's behavior. This strategy, famously tested in iterated prisoner's dilemma studies, builds trust over time and discourages exploitation. BATNA, best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Knowing your fallback gives you leverage. Studies in organizational behavior show negotiators with clear BAT and AS achieve higher payoffs and lower stress. Minimax strategy. Focus on limiting your worst-case scenario, a principle used in high-stakes negotiations, risk management, and even AI decision-making. By minimizing potential losses, you negotiate from strength while maintaining flexibility. Other applications? Sports team coordination, roommate agreements, business partnerships, and even parenting decisions all rely on understanding incentives and predicting reactions. Recognizing these patterns helps you shift from reactive to strategic thinking, giving you a measurable edge in both personal and professional negotiations. To bring this into your everyday life, we'll break it down into step-by-step, actionable strategies, backed by negotiation research and real-world examples, so you can consistently achieve better outcomes without conflict or stress. Step 1. Identify the players and their interests. Before making a move, map the game board. Who is involved? And what does each person really want? Don't just assume. Ask questions, observe patterns, and gather information. Identify each player's BATNA, their best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Knowing what options they have outside the negotiation allows you to predict flexibility, leverage, and likely reactions. Studies in organizational behavior show that negotiators who understand counterpart incentives achieve more efficient, mutually beneficial outcomes. Step 2. List all possible strategies and outcomes. Brainstorm potential moves, both cooperative and competitive, and predict likely payoffs. Decision trees are incredibly useful here, visually mapping how each choice could unfold. For example, in a household chore negotiation, you might list options: split evenly, alternate days, or one person handles a task weekly. Predict how each choice affects satisfaction, time, and stress. This step forces clarity and uncovers hidden trade-offs that often go unnoticed in high emotion negotiations. Step 3. Seek Nash equilibria. Identify stable points where no player can improve their outcome by changing strategy alone. In real life, this could mean finding an arrangement where both parties are satisfied enough to stick with it, reducing deadlock risk. Aim for cooperative equilibria through early communication. For instance, explicitly outlining roles in a project or household task can convert potential conflict into a predictable win-win pattern. Research shows that negotiated agreements anchored in cooperative equilibrium principles are more durable and less likely to collapse under pressure. Step 4. Make the first move wisely. Anchoring matters. Studies in negotiation science show the first credible offer often sets the reference point, influencing expectations and outcomes. But anchor with logic, not emotion. Base your opening on facts, past data, or market rates, not fear or guesswork. For example, in a salary negotiation, referencing industry standards while clearly articulating your contributions. Positions you as strategic rather than aggressive. Step 5. Iterate and adapt. Negotiations are rarely static. Pay attention to signals, adjust your approach, and foster reciprocity using tit-for-tat strategies. Start with cooperative gestures, mirror responses, and reward constructive behavior. Over time, this builds trust, reduces adversarial tension, and encourages adaptive negotiation behavior. Remember, feedback loops aren't just for economics, they guide every effective negotiation. Extra insights for maximum value. Combine emotional intelligence with game theory. Understanding the other party's emotions can reveal incentives not captured in rational models. Use scenario simulation. Imagine if I do X, they might do Y, and plan contingencies. This mirrors predictive models in behavioral economics. Apply these strategies daily, even in small interactions, like deciding on dinner plans or planning joint errands. Repetition strengthens intuitive grasp of equilibrium and strategy, so when high-stakes negotiations appear, your brain is already trained. In conclusion, game theory isn't just for economists or mathematicians, it's a practical toolkit for smarter, more strategic, and less emotional negotiations. By understanding Nash equilibria, tit-for-tat strategies, and BATNA, you can transform everyday interactions, from salary talks to household decisions, into opportunities for mutual gain, predictable outcomes, and long-term trust. The real power? You stop reacting impulsively and start anticipating patterns, creating leverage while fostering cooperation. Negotiation becomes less about winning and more about maximizing value for all involved. Now it's your turn. What's a negotiation you've game theorized in your own life? Share it in the comments. Your example might spark insight for someone else. If this video leveled up your strategy, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to unlock more mind-expanding tools for smarter decisions, everyday strategy, and mental mastery. Thanks for watching Learn Express. And remember, negotiate wisely, think strategically, and turn every interaction into an opportunity.